Should we be responsible for providing low-income housing through bond measures, meaning more taxes, through Measure E? Is this something that we're, as citizens of San Jose, responsible for? Because when you look at the 800-foot view, I don't know if it's something that should be our responsibility. I know that the city gets federal and state grant money for providing for low-income housing, but the whole idea behind Measure E chaps my hide. And now we have a new guy who is in charge of San Jose's efforts to solve the housing crisis. It's his job, right? I get it. It's his job. So he's going to do it to the best of his ability until he's not going to be effective. And then he'll go find something else to do, right? Because it's bureaucracy that's slowing everything down. And I don't know. I want your input on this. Do you think it's our responsibility to provide low-income housing out of our coffers, out of our resources that we pay taxes into? It's expensive to live here. This is Eric Sullivan. He's our new housing director for San Jose. And while we have tons of tiny house projects going on, I don't know if it's something that I just don't. I looked into the whole Measure E thing and they're spending money. Is it wisely? I don't know. I want your opinion on this. Congratulations to Eric. I'm glad you have a good job. I know that you were working with Tulsa and Denver and Philadelphia. I'd love to have a conversation with you about what your job is. Down here it says, let's take what goes into the development of housing. It's labor, materials, and land, but it's also bureaucracy and permits and overruns and all these other things that make it almost impossible for us to put housing into it. Now they're saying it's $1 million to put one house into play, which is ridiculous because those are cost overruns. There's got to be a low cost solution to this, something that costs maybe $100,000 or $150,000, where we put it in as temporary housing. I'm not sure, but somewhere here I read that it was $1 million per unit that they put in, and that's ridiculous. Why would you even start something like that? It's because the city makes money off of all the permits and planning and all that other stuff, and it's painful for us to watch. Should we provide housing for low-income people? I don't know. I think when you have private organizations doing it, they have a way of making it happen. The only problem is we don't have enough private organizations, nonprofits like Habitat for Humanity. There's also Sobrato, with the city coming in and putting their fingerprint on everything. It slows down the process. So by publicizing it or making it a public problem, costs become the biggest problem. So I'm not sure. I'm just talking out loud here because it's painful for me to watch this happen. And it's not just a local San Jose thing. It's all over, right? It's not just California. It's all over the United States. How do we provide housing for it? Is it a right? It's not really a right. Is it a necessity? And here's the thing, right? They say it's 57 and it's probably, that's a very under number. I can almost tell you that it's over 20,000, at least in Santa Clara County. There's people that go out and count the number of homeless. We need to get the homeless people off the streets. I understand that. But is it really our responsibility? Please weigh in. Price reductions in Santa Clara County. Today we're like, oh, look at Loma Chiquita went down a whole $1,000. Here's the tactic I use with a lot of people, especially veterans. We go in and find houses that have been on market for a little bit because real estate's like Little League soccer. When you have the ball in the far right corner, all the kids rush over there and huddle for it. And if it goes to the far left corner, then they run over there. And once it becomes not the shiny object, then it loses its issue. This one on Shawcroft, just randomly picked it, not my listing, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, listed at $1.4 million. It was listed at 1.45. Now, it's been on market almost 70 days. And Shawcroft is not a busy street, but if you look, it's on the corner of Snell and Shawcroft. So that automatically lowers the value of it. Is it a nice looking house? Sure, it's a nice looking house. Colors are a little off. Kitchen's very dark. The agent did not use a professional photographer. I can tell because these are dark. When you use a professional photographer, they use a HDR, which means they take a high, medium, and low res and they combine it together. They just popped this thing on the market and they're trying to get premium price for it. Obviously, after 60 days, if your price is not attracting buyers, don't be a market maker. But let's see what else is here. That's a condo, townhouse, detached. Let's take a look at this one. This one is built in 1994, 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths, 1,300 square feet. Not my listing, and it's right by Almaden. And this is a detached house. No, it's not. Yeah, it's an HOA. This is a townhouse. Even if it's detached, this is $1 million house, especially at that size. Granted, it looks nice inside, but they painted the counters, put knobs on it, and put new counter. They put a new counter on it. It looks like an old counter. Bathroom's not updated. This is all 1994 styling. Look, this is a good house, but be aware that pricing is super important to buyers. If you're comparing this to other houses, you need to be at or below the median in order to attract buyers. Buyers will bid it up if it's priced correctly. Just keep that in mind when you're pricing out a house. I have a new listing today, and we're going to have that tough discussion. This is Olive Street, and this is built in 1939, 85 years old. It's been on market 61 days, and they lowered it $80,000. But I want to say Olives. It's not a filter street, but it's also not a busy street. People in Los Gatos, if you don't live in Los Gatos, you're not going into the neighborhoods, right? You're just sticking around the main streets. That's pretty much it. People really don't coagulate there. But this is a cottage. This is a tiny little cottage. Now, is it worth the land? No, the land's 3,500 square feet. Start at 2.2, you go down to 2.1. Guys, you're trying to be a market maker here, and all you're doing is letting it sit on the market. You're hurting your client. It could be coming from the client too. Look, this is not even a legal room. This looks like it was an attic maybe, or an addition. The bonus room was a shack. Let's see if we can get it down. See, that's your bonus room right there. That's a storage shed. That's a garage that was converted. That's an ADU. Is it called out as an ADU? Yeah, 228 square feet. Guys, if your house isn't selling in 30 days, then you have a problem. And it's condition, location, or price. I don't know how else to tell you that. All right, highest sold price this last week was $12.8 million. The lowest was $845,000, and the last two have been on market for a very long time, and they're not going anywhere. Let me break this open for you. This is the lowest priced house. It's where is this? That's San Jose, Santa Clara County. $350,000 for a 1,400 square foot house. This is the lowest sold price, Mount Madonna Drive in, where is it? Alum Rock area. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,222 for $845,000 on the market in 3 days, sold in 3 days. This is the highest sold house in Santa Clara County, Los Altos Hills, Palo Alto. Wow, that's beautiful. That's $12.8 million. That is gorgeous. Let me break out my checkbook. The last one is the most expensive one, still for sale, $40 million. La Vida Real, the real life. This is like a Winchester Mystery House.